Hello, welcome to ENCORE. Coming up, director Antoine Fuqua gives Jake Gyllenhaal a macho makeover in this tale of a broken prize fighter, Southpaw. Hip-hop revolution, from its pioneering days through its emergence into mainstream popular culture. Your last chance to see Paris's twist on the global phenomenon of hip-hop. And 50 years of Avignon's Fringe Festival. As it draws to a close, we look at some of the highlights. Thanks for joining us. Director Antoine Fuqua has shown his talent for bringing out the shadowy side of nice guys like Denzel Washington in The Equalizer and Training Day. In the film Southpaw, Jake Gyllenhaal gets the makeover as a bloodied and battered boxing champion. The actor trained for 5 months, gaining almost 15 kilograms of muscle to become the enraged fighter Billy Hope. Fernando Van Tetz has more.
So what brings Billy Hope into my gym?
I'm looking for a job, maybe a place to train.
A boxing champion on the ropes. He was a winner and a family man.
I wouldn't be here without my wife, Maureen.
Hey, Billy, why are you leaving so soon?
Billy, stop! But his wife is killed.
No.
And his daughter is taken away. This is a film about the rage of a man who has lost everything.
It starts off with anger with hatred, which I think is rage, you know. And I think that, in my opinion, that idea begins very early on. You know, to have a feeling that strong, to have a feeling that big, to have a feeling that overwhelming brings you back, I think, to a very early state.
Gyllenhaal is not the first to transform himself into a boxer for a leading role. De Niro, Stallone, Denzel Washington, Will Smith, all had to build a ton of muscle for their role, except for perhaps Charlie Chaplin. Gyllenhaal's physical challenge was shared with his director, who decided to beef up as well. The two trained twice a day, 7 days a week.
I needed to see it myself up close. So I knew the more we would train together, not only would he get in shape and understand the world of fighting and boxing and sacrifice, that I, as a director, would see things, just because he was becoming Billy Hope.
I'm gonna fight again. I'm gonna get my kid back.
The role was initially meant for Eminem, who pulled out but provided music. The soundtrack is already a winner. The film hopes to be too.
It's your last chance to see Paris's biggest ever hip-hop exhibition. It traces the history of hip-hop from its birth in the United States to its role in the Arab Spring uprisings. Mariam Saab went to the Arab World Institute to check it out.
Behind a facade of bling-bling, rap wars and video vixens, a revolutionary movement. Here at the Arab World Institute in the heart of Paris, they're turning up the dial on the history of hip-hop. Bronx-bred rap pioneer Afrika Bambaataa said it best when he called hip-hop a whole culture. Shaped during Bronx block parties in the 70s, hip-hop took France by storm in the 80s and spilled over onto the streets, capturing the spirit of rebellion during the Arab Spring. Colouring hip-hop's timeline, the visionary behind the exhibition, French rapper Akhenaten. Hello,
how you doing?
Nice to see you, Akhenaten.
Nice to see you too.
What are the ties that bind French, American and Arab hip-hop?
I think it's the bottom of the culture. The culture is based on tolerance, creativity, respect, being open-minded. I think we have all that in common. We French and Americans change a bit because there's so many groups, and all the rappers now and all the graffiti artists, they're not necessarily hip-hop. But all the Arab artists I met here, they have something in common. They smile. And that's important because they've been in their respective countries, like refugees of rap from Syria and people like Stormtrap from Palestine. They've been living a very hard times in their history, in their country, and still they're smiling. So we have great lessons to take from them.
no hip-hop ideal. Some people wear a suit and tie and are hip-hop, others wear a tracksuit and aren't. It's a state of mind.
It was for education at the beginning, and as it was part of my youth, I want to now show it to my kids, of course.
This is also a culture of fun, of going out, not staying at home, communicating.
Hip-hop is not just about making music with a message, it's also a fashion statement. Tell me a little bit about how hip-hop has influenced your style.
Well, now it's not obvious, but when I was pretty young, I was into running all across the city to try to find the pair of sneakers that was interesting me. I ran all across New York to find that one.
Just looking around the exhibition, what struck me is that there isn't a lot of female representation. Do you think that is reflective of hip-hop as a genre, as a subculture?
Unfortunately, hip-hop is a reflect of the culture of its origin, and the neighborhoods where it's from, it's very tough for women to emerge. If I talk about rap music, for a female rapper, it's 20 times tougher. That's why I wanted on the cover of the expo to have a woman and to have a woman face.
Of the house since his dad left, wake up days feeling stressed. No stability, every year got a new address. Never changed the view from the window.
Onto hip-hop's universal tag, graffiti art.
Same story, question God, wonder why he would take such a young shorty. It ain't even 8:40, already he thinking poorly. But still, he's the...
So behind us here we have Palestinian hip-hop group DAM. What role do you think hip-hop has played in the Arab world when it comes to making a political statement? What power is there?
What they say is very listened by the youth, and they have much more power than force or battles or huge speech by political leaders. They are the new leaders of the youth in this country, and very often they have a way of describing things much more interesting than the politicians.
Leave R.I.P. tagged on the street corners and it's real. These herbs think freedom is a bill, for real. The science said these cats unreal. When we start the revolution, all they probably do is squeal. But chill.
It's all hands on decks. Budding turntablists can pick up the tricks of the trade, like the art of spinning and sampling.
Government's crazy, we not just hoods in God's eyes. Kids in the breeze, write my name on the wall, rest in peace to tease. The remedy.
A mountain of history. A creative collective of DJs, rappers, graffiti artists and dancers will continue to spread the word, tagging hip-hop culture onto the hearts and minds of spectators until the exhibition wraps July 26th.
And it don't stop and it don't quit.
Si, évilement immiscé, lève ton verre à ce putain de rappé. ART qui t'a parlé de raquer, de bis, fric, bitch, vite, rabat, se caquer, c'est FAT, ouais, tu le sais, SAT, c'est plus que de la musique. France 24.
Now, one of France's oldest arts events, the Avignon Festival, is coming to an end in the south of France. Alongside the official lineup, the ENCORE, the town also holds a fringe festival known as the OFF. It's celebrating its 50th year with more than 1,000 theatre companies taking part. Phoebe Lanzar-Wood takes a look at some of the highlights.
At the festival OFF, nothing ever changes, yet nothing is ever the same. But one thing's for certain, the fun and games never end. For the past half a century, this celebration of theatre has been coming to Avignon in the south of France, showcasing plays from every genre imaginable.
These 30,000 performances represent 30,000 questions raised, questions about our world, about our environment. Avignon in the month of July voices world concerns.
La robe champagne. There are amateurs, professionals, semi-pros. There are comedies, more intellectual plays, everything. It's a great melting pot that represents what our job is all about.
One to watch is Franco-Italian comic Pierre Santini, playing the eponymous Bluebeard in Amélie Nothom's interpretation of the French classic. Another headline act is established French actor Jean-Claude Dreyfus, appearing in Marilyn Ball's comedy Le Chant des Oliviers.
Avignon is great, but it's so tiring that I tell myself every time that I won't come back. But then I would miss it. It's a love story with theatre, all these posters, comedians, directors.
With so much happening over the course of 3 weeks, there's not much time for relaxing.
I'm not surprised that it's lasted because it's a magical event. It's unique. And when you love the festival this much, you become addicted and you just can't miss it.
With 120 festivals disappearing from the French theatre scene since last year, the OFF has assumed even greater importance and is expected to generate an estimated 20 million euros.
And we'll leave you with a graffiti festival going on in the south of France. It's called Meeting of Styles. 50 artists from all over the world are taking part. They create street art as people stand and watch. And it's on until the 26th of July at the Casa Musicale in Perpignan. Remember our website. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. There's more news coming up on France 24 after this.